Saludos a todos y a todas, mi nombre es Damián y yo soy el friki del canal y en el día de hoy, por segunda vez en español, lo vengo a traer a John de Queen Studios. Estuvo la primera vez en la Cueva del Gritón, sí, con Troy Santiago, que le mando un saludo, y ahora está acá con el friki. ¿Será la segunda y última vez? ¿Tendrá otra chance de aparecer en un canal en español? La verdad que no lo sabemos, pero lo tenemos a John. Hello, John.
Hi.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon. Yeah, very good, thanks. How are you?
All good, all good. Here is around 10
Good.
a.m. I'm picking up my watch here, 10 a.m. Around 3 p.m. You
Awesome.
said that is in China, right?
Yes, it's not a bad time for me today.
It's about time. It's like this is the end of your shift, let's say.
No. Still got around 3.5 hours to go, but yes,
Oh,
it's a good time. It's a good time.
okay. So thank you very much for taking the time to do this interview with me. So
No
let's
worries.
jump into the questions because I don't want to keep you too much. I know you are a busy guy, and we need to have the Joker ready.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, the in-art thing is something that is driving people nuts, and it's including me. I have a hype that I don't know, it goes to the sky. So
Mm.
I was talking with the community, and you know that we are very passionate about this because there are certain brands that I'm not going to name, everyone knows, but there are certain brands that are established in the 1/6 community and in the world. And all of the sudden, or better said, not all of the sudden, because you guys have been thinking about this before actually releasing the in-art, you guys appear in the market, and we are all like, wow. We saw those images. A lot of people were expecting to have a new version of the Joker, and seeing that Joker, it was for us. It was like a new thing. The hype for people that are collecting since years and years came back. You know, so the 1/6 community is having very high expectations with the Queen Studios. Do you feel the pressure? How do you handle this pressure from the collectors?
Yeah, so it's a good question. The good thing for us, this isn't our first time. So I'd say it was 2018 when we came pretty much out of nowhere with the first hyperreal silicone bust. And the statue and bust collectors at the time basically are reacting very similarly to how the 6 scale figure collectors are now. So there was a lot of established companies and players, and they were just doing their usual thing. And then we came along with something slightly different, something new, and people were just like, wow, this is amazing. So at that time, there's the pressure is not only showing the good collectibles we can make and what we can do, but delivering on that promise. So we've proven ourselves with statues and busts for the last 3 or 4 years. So now coming into 1/6, of course there's pressure. We want to live up to the expectations, but we feel confident that we've done this before and we can make something as good, if not better, than the prototype.
Damn. Okay. That it's very, very nice. At this moment, what I'm going to be doing after, it's going to be making another video of just myself translating what you said in Spanish. Okay, because putting subtitles to all the conversation, it's insane. It's
Yes,
insane.
hard work. Yeah, I know.
So I had been verifying this situation and everything with the in-art section and the figures, and my hype, as I said, is crazy. So you saying that it could be as the prototype or even better than the prototype, that is raising the bar very high, because sometimes we are receiving, and I'm not going to give examples, I can give many, of products not even a half of what they promised, you know. So yeah, anyway, um this is honesty from my side. I saw the other day the video that you guys released around 1 hour, and yeah, I don't collect statues or busts
Mm.
because for me it's very, at least at this moment, it's very out of my range, you know.
Yep.
But I was waiting for that Gandalf. I have to be honest with you.
Mm.
I have been waiting for that Gandalf. Are we going to have something soon? Something else that you can tell us about the Gandalf 1/6 collectible figure?
Yeah, so first of all, I want to make it clear to the collectors that uh, we saw a lot of disappointment from 6 scale figure collectors, and we know that. So we've been planning that video and event for some time, since about November of last year, we started planning.
Ah,
It just takes so long to shoot, to get the approval from the licensing companies. So at that time, we didn't have anything ready for 1/6. So that's the reason why there's not as many 1/6 collectibles. It's not that we want to neglect it. It's just we'd already started working on our statues and figures. So luckily, Viper was able to send some concepts and some early images of the Lord of the Rings. But again, these are not the final ones. Some of them are concepts. I think one of them might be an early prototype. And for Gandalf, we're expecting next week. So if it depends when you're watching this. So as of now, it's around the 15th of April. So
yep.
from around the 18th of April onwards, we were expecting to release some more updates, behind the scenes images in that week. Hopefully.
Oof. Okay. Okay. You are just okay. This is not good for my heart. A lot of people are
Yeah.
expecting that figure. I mean, I love the Lord of the Rings, but I know some people that are nuts about the Lord of the Rings, and I don't know. Seeing that Gandalf, I think it's going to be great. If it's as good as the Joker that you guys are showing, I think, yeah, it's going to be crazy. As I had been saying, this is the number 3 question. The third question of today is: the Joker figure looks excellent, and of course I pre-ordered it. Yeah, I woke up at 4 a.m. my time to pre-order it. I was scared for the figure to just run off. So some people in the community still like to understand, because this is a question that you might have received also. There were 3 pre-order days at the beginning. I think I know the answer, but then those days were launched again. So all the people that got in a hurry to make the pre-order, they then realized that, hey, wait a minute, there are a lot of places in which this pre-order got extended. What happened in that moment?
Yeah, so we've tried to, as a team, clear this up as best we could, and we've answered this question on a few other streams. So basically, the DC line is only licensed for China right now.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why we had a 3-day window is we did that for the mainland China market. Of course, with any collector knows, within this industry, there is other companies that will buy from someone else and then resell. So that business practice happens, and we've got no control over that. So if someone opens up the pre-order for themselves again later, there's not a lot we can do about that.
Yeah, of
So
course.
as a company, we just have to learn and think, okay, maybe we need to think about our promotions, because our long-term plan is to have global licenses for as many of our 6-scale figures as possible, because we want to make them as accessible to collectors as possible. We want to make it clear, transparent as possible. So this, unfortunately, we're a new company, so what we really want from people is just a little bit of patience and understanding while we learn and improve. And what we'll do is learn and improve. That's all we can promise.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's very, very good answer. So coming back to the figure, that it's the first figure that you guys are showing, that is the Joker again, blah blah. But I saw that we are adding to the standard version the eyes movement. Can we expect every 1/6 collectible figure from Queen Studios to have this feature even on the standard versions, or this is going to be an exception?
So I've asked this question to the team here, because thankfully you sent all the questions in advance. If people can do that, I can get good answers. So I spoke to the team here, so we can confirm that the Gandalf figure is most likely going to be one version with rooted hair, and it will have eye movement in the Gandalf. For other figures, it depends on the figure itself. I think it just depends on the kind of poses and the style they're going for. If it works, if it doesn't work, I think there's just lots of different factors. So it probably won't be for every piece, but for I'd say most of them it should. But that's to be determined. It's still early days for us yet.
Okay, okay, perfect. Do you think this is more of a personal question? Because I'm telling you, I'm having the Hot Toys DX11, the 2.0 of the Joker. I love the figure. A lot of people are selling that figure in order to get to yours. I'm not going to do that because I still think that the figure is very nice, and it's the version that they did
Mm.
a couple of years ago, actually, like 10 years ago. But with this figure, do you think that we can expect delays on the standard Joker release? And what about the rooted hair one? Do you still think that 2022, the December, November, is going to still be possible with all these new pre-orders coming up?
So at the moment, there are delays for our statues, and those delays are all on the shipping side. So
Mm-hmm.
at the moment, Shanghai, for example, is completely locked down. There's parts of southern China which they've stopped deliveries, and there's other parts of China where there's no deliveries. So the only delays we're seeing at the moment is from the delivery companies. It's not from our production side of things. So as of now, we don't foresee any delays in production. If there are delays, it would be from getting the collectible to the collector. So we just have to wait and see. We're gonna aim to hit that deadline, and we're confident we can hit the deadline for the first batch. These will ship in batches, so we're not going to produce them all in one go. There'll be maybe a batch of 100 or 200. I'm not sure the size for figures because it's
Mm-hmm.
slightly more. But usually we create a batch so that we can go through and quality control, inspect each one, and then we'll start to deliver, and then it'll slowly be distributed out to the various collectors. The
Mm-hmm.
only setback could be from the delivery companies, and we're hoping by the end of the year that should have eased up.
Jesus. Jesus, I hope it happens because I mean, I am not very good at waiting. I'm a very anxious guy, and waiting for that is going to be insane. So let's keep going. So many collectors that I have discussed with channels and without channels, just normal collectors and stuff, they are saying or thinking on stopping their pre-orders with other brands due to some releases that Queen Studios have been showing,
Mhm.
such as the Battinson figure. So, what do you consider to be the strongest point of Queen Studios, and why collectors should be picking you guys instead of other brands?
Yeah, so that's a good question, and I think it's a question that every company and every um, artist should ask themselves. Like, why should someone order my collectible, my figure? And at the end of the day, you've got to find out what makes your collectibles really interesting to buy. From our point of view, it's the likeness and the quality. So when anyone goes to our website, one of the first things it will say is that our mission is to create the most realistic and lifelike collectibles in the world. It doesn't matter if it's a one-to-one statue or a 6 scale figure, or even down to like a 1/9 scale or whatever. We just want to make anything we do as real as possible. So the face sculpt, we want to make it look, basically, if you had a picture side by side, we want people to say, actually, it's spot on. It's exactly what they look the same. That's what
Hmm.
we're going for with each collectible. Then when we're talking about quality, it's like the extra little details that maybe other companies don't do as much. For example, with the Joker, we've made the small weaponry out of metal. You can even load the clip. We've tried to make the other parts of the material as finely tailored to the body as possible, so his clothes. We've actually going to tailor it to the outfit, to
Hmm.
the frame of his body. With the base, we want to design bases that look good. With our statues and our busts, we always go for artistic bases because it's part of the whole piece. So we're just going to put detail into all aspects of it, and that's what we do. And maybe other companies will aim to do that as well, but we just go to be the best at the likeness.
Very good question. And to be completely honest with you, at least from the figures that we saw, I can tell you that you are doing a great, great job. I mean, it's very hard for me to explain because I am a collector with 1/6 scale from like almost 3 years, I believe, 2 years and a half, something like this. And I always said I'm going to buy just one, and then I ended up having 30 and something.
Yeah.
And Queen Studios is giving hope for a new era, of action figures, and I hope you guys can continue that level sky high after the release of the Joker, of course. So, can we expect, next question, can we expect in the near future a live event showing only in art 1 and 6 collectible figures?
Yes, 100%. So the reason why we didn't do it for the last one, as I mentioned, is that we just didn't have enough ready. And we've been planning this for a while for the statue and bust collectors. So we know that the 6 scale figure community is a big community, very passionate and active. And we wanted to include something in there because people expected it. Moving forward, what we would love to do is to have more online events. In reality, online events are sort of like something we just have to do because of the COVID situation. In reality, what we do want to do is go to as many countries as possible, take as many figures, and show you face to face. But until that
Yeah.
happens, we want to plan some online events where you can see and anticipate what's coming up from the in-art brand.
Okay. Okay. Very good. I mean, this is very nice that you took the time of making this interview. A lot of people from the Spanish community, maybe there are some that they don't speak English, and there is nothing wrong with that. That's why I'm here to translate everything that you are saying after. But a lot of people have very high expectations. I think that Queen Studios at this moment it will be like trending topic in the 1/6 world. I think. I mean, in the collector's world, right? But in the 1/6 most.
Yep.
So let's see. Next question. Let's see. Okay. So this is about licensing. Do you think that you can share some insights on the licensing process? How does Queen Studios acquire a license? Is the license related to the scales, meaning 1/4, 1/6, 1 and 12, whatever? Does it ever expire? Can two companies can hold a 1/6 license at the same time in the same region? These are some questions that I got from other collectors as well.
To be honest, it's a really good question. And from what I've seen, not many of the companies talk about this. So I don't know if we are even allowed to, but I do
Okay.
try to, I think we do try to answer as honestly as possible. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's not a major secret. If you Google like Funko, for example, you can learn a little bit about how Funko get different licenses. So how it works is generally you have to contact the company. So anyone could do this. You could go on
Yeah.
like the NBA website and submit a proposal to be a licensee. But they're very selective. They want to see a business plan. They want to see what experience you have. And they usually choose only the companies that they're sure can make these collectibles. So it's sort of an early process. It's really difficult to get the conversation going. Once you get the conversation going, it's basically what you just said. What partners do they have? What regions do they work in? So the reason why our license for DC is mostly China is because Hot Toys and some other companies have licenses around the world, and they don't want to ruin any relationships with any other partners for a new company, which makes 100% sense, and we understand that. We hope to expand in the future after we prove that we can differentiate. And that's just generally how it works. You have to contact the company, send some proposals, and then they'll look at the regions and think, okay, you can sell here or there. And usually you sign a contract for a certain amount of time, so it can expire.
Mm-hmm.
But for the bigger companies, like the more established companies, it's usually a rolling contract. They expect to work with them for a long term. And a lot of companies like that, a lot of studios like that, because Marvel, DC, they're all in it for the long run anyway. They want to just choose the companies that reflect their brand and their values as much as possible and really are passionate about the characters. And we're here to prove to them and to collectors we are passionate about collecting collectibles and all the characters.
Nice. Very nice question. Answer, actually. Okay. So, I had been seeing that previously. Yeah, when you did this video, I understand that you started working on this around November. You are telling me that it's very difficult to make the shooting and everything to talk. Um, I saw that you collaborated with certain people in the social media world, especially YouTube. Yeah.
Yep.
Do you think that because the Spanish community is huge, and I'm not just saying the Spanish collectors, like someone sitting at home that is just ordering the figure, enjoying it for himself, taking some pictures. Also, us, the content creators, it doesn't matter how big or how small you are, they are all consuming the same things. They are just showing them differently. Do you think that in the future we can see collaborations maybe with some with Queenie Studios and Spanish content creators? That there are many that are very big channels of action figures. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. From our point of view, it doesn't. Of course, we want to work with the big channels, but when we get asked to do shows, I don't really look at the how many subscribers, that kind of thing. The most important thing for us is engagement. So are people commenting and engaging? Because if there's 100 people out there watching this video now, if those 100 people are real collectors, then that's 100 real collectors. And we just want to communicate with as many as the community as possible. The only thing that's stopping us is the language barrier. If I could speak Spanish, then that would be awesome.
Yeah,
So we have to rely on basically channels like yours where hopefully you can help us to translate.
yeah,
And in the statue community, we do something similar with a French influencer YouTuber called the
yeah.
Virtual Devil. He
Mm-hmm.
was on the video. I have no idea what he's saying. He could be saying terrible stuff about us, but we just have to trust him.
Yeah, yeah,
That he speaks for the French community, and it's all about community. So hopefully we can collaborate in some sort of way in the future. And just like in the showcase, if we do have a video like that for 1/6, we'll invite lots of different streamers on the channel to introduce next segments, as many languages as possible, as many
yeah.
countries as possible, so everyone knows like we're a global community that love these figures, not just one country or two.
Yeah, that is very nice, and probably someone is going to listen to this question is going to say, he wants it from himself. No, I mean, I am a channel that is growing, almost getting to the 5,500 subscribers, but there are other channels, colleagues of mine from platform that we are
Mm,
becoming like virtual friends. Let's say that we have the group, for example, like Cueva del Griton. You have been there with Troy.
mm,
Then there is another channel, friend from the US, also Spanish, Capo Ninja. Then we have Avi Toys, one of the biggest channels in Argentina. It has almost 75,000 subscribers.
mm.
So yeah, it's not about you, of course, but it's like sometimes we are huge. The Spanish community is
Yeah,
huge
definitely.
when it comes to collectibles, and I think, from my own experience, I think we deserve like a bit more, you know. So yeah, this was more like a personal question, but your answer was very nice. Thank you very much for that. So,
Well,
John, we have just a couple of very fast questions from some viewers, and then do you have something to show me? You said, will that be
yeah,
possible?
I could give you a quick look at one of the other projects that Viper worked on, and it can
That
give
is
you a more detail.
that is perfect. So I'm having like three, four, 5 questions, very fast, not too much. So when it comes to figures with rooted hair, is there anything that we should be taking in consideration with the figure in order to preserve the hair? Any maintenance that we need to add that you know?
So what we will do is for each figure, we'll try our best. It might be a little bit hard right now, but we're going to try our best to create some guide. So basically,
Ah,
how to take care of guide. So if you go to our YouTube channel, we did a 12 tips to take care of silicone video, and it
mm,
was me in a video, and basically we're just describing how you'd
saw it. Yeah.
help, yeah, how to take care of silicone. The materials that we use are all natural materials. So the hair itself should be made of like a sheep's wool, a fine sheep's wool. So over time, it shouldn't really degrade. Like our hair doesn't really degrade that much.
Hmm.
So it comes down to dust and styling. There's certain tips you can do, but it should be fine. A lot of the materials we choose is for longevity. So we recently released a quarter scale Loki statue, and
Yeah.
instead of using the fake leather, we use the real leather. So that should last between 30 to 100 years, depending on what you Google.
So you have time.
And hope, yeah, yeah. So this it's not pleather. We're gonna go for the best materials for the hair, the clothes, to to give collectors more of a long-term experience.
Very nice. Another fast question will be: someone was asking me about video games. collectibles
Mm.
based on video games. Are we expecting something new, maybe from the 1/6 collectors from AAA video games?
So we did the poll about a month ago or 3 weeks ago. I can't remember the time now. And we got a lot of feedback from collectors which kind of games they'd be interested in.
Hmm.
So maybe we need to do another version of that poll to maybe there's a few flaws to that poll because a lot of people added their own suggestions, which is fine, but then it dilutes the final version.
Hmm.
So we're gonna look into the top 3 on there and see if there's any possibilities for licensing. And then for other video games, we're completely open. If there's enough people that are interested, we're interested. That's how we see it.
When it comes to the design of one of your products, do you choose specifically an artist that it's a fan of the character in order to catch the intensity of a scene or the face, like Viper, for example, for the Joker? Do you search for someone like that, or you are just looking for the talent and to think that that person can actually recreate what you guys have in mind?
Yeah, so that is a very good question. Usually for our statues and busts, like we showed in the video over the weekend,
Hmm.
we'll choose to partner with people that specialize in certain things. So with some of our statues, we chose the specialists. The reason why we have the Joker is that of the first collectible is because that's Viper's favorite character. So usually we go for the most passionate people, but we understand that the collector market has got many, like a wide variety of um, interests. So like you just mentioned, video games. So there may be a video game we're not familiar with. So we could try and partner with someone. If not, then we'll find someone to do the deep dive. So they'll just spend ages, they might even play the game. They'll watch videos and photos and they'll just study for hours and hours. And
Oh.
usually you begin to have a passion for the character once you learn more about them. Everyone we choose has a passion for art and collectibles first, then the character as well. They learn and we become fans of these things. And gaming is huge in China anyway, so
Hmm.
I'm sure we'll find
Yeah.
someone for everything.
Yeah, that's great. So let's go with the latest question from the viewers. I couldn't get all of them because John is working. He's taking his time to do this. So before a product gets released, I think I know the answer to this. Maybe it might be like a silly question, but I don't know. Who gives the final confirmation that the product can be released? I mean, of course, you guys are developing the product, but is it Queen Studios? Is the studio of the license? Is the actor ever involved in these projects? It's a community uh, answer, let's say, confirmation.
Yeah, so that's another good question, like a good
Oh.
behind the scenes question. So usually what we do is the process for what we go through, and I think many other companies go through, is we start with a concept. So for the event at the weekend, we showed some of our concepts. So this is how we expect the figure to look like. So we showed the Lord of the Rings, we showed Aragon, we showed Legolas, we showed the Gandalf figure, and this is how we expect them to look. And then what we'll do is we'll submit that to the licensing company. They'll usually, with statues is more strict, but with figures, I guess it's a bit more flexible. They'll say, yep, that's good, go ahead. Then we start with like a 3D sculpt, so there'll be someone doing 3D drawings. We'll
Hmm.
submit those, then they'll approve that, and we'll just go through this process. And then the final piece, they have to sign off. But within our company, our art director or the project manager, in this case would be Viper, he would have the final say. So even if it's approved by the studio, if we don't think it's as good as it can be, there's 2 options. We either release it and say we'll change it, or we'll just pause and continue working. That's usually what we do.
Perfect. Perfect, John. So I asked you so many questions. I got very, very cool answers, to be honest. And is Viper around there? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
That would be awesome to bring him here to at least say hello.
Yeah.
So yeah, no problem. So is it something that you would like to show us then for the viewers
Yes.
here? I'm
So
going to
I'll
put
just
you
give
in
you.
big screen, only to you.
Okay. I'll just give you a little tour of this. It's mostly statues at the moment. So this is our
Oh
office.
my God!
So we've got the.
Oh, we have people
This
working
is
there. Oh my God!
yeah, yeah, it's the work time. Then we've got the Aquaman Hunter 2.
That looks like
we've-
myself.
Yeah, with the hair maybe. And
Yeah.
we've got the
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
the
that
Bloodstone
that's a
Batman.
beautiful.
And then we've got the Joker. So this is signed by Todd Phillips. This is Todd Phillips' signature, the director of the Joker. He
Oh my
signed this
god.
for us.
I
And
am
then this
seeing
is
that.
what I was talking about with the base. So with the base, we go for realism as well.
Incredible.
So we've tried to capture that. And then this piece here. So I think this piece is worked on by Viper. So it's very similar in aspects to the 6-scale figure. Of course, there are differences, but the
Yeah.
hair is rooted hair. The materials are all finely tailored, high quality, and you can see on the inside of the jacket, he's got the grenades, which are all made of, I think these made of metal. I'm not sure.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, or maybe polystone.
So this is the one, John, that you were sending me, right? That's a joke.
Yeah, I wish we could send more out, but they sold out very
Jeez,
quickly.
it's insane. I can understand why it got sold out. It's insane. Unbelievable. Jesus.
Yeah,
Very
so
good stuff.
you can expect a very similar look and style to the figure, but of course it's a figure. The materials are slightly different, but with the rooting of the hair, the makeup, the paint, and all that kind of stuff, it's all done by Viper's team, so it's going to be very high quality.
Yeah. Okay, John. So thank you very, very much for your time. I'm sorry there were too many questions. I think we are
Oh,
anyway
no worries.
wrapping it up like very early. I said around 40 minutes, something like that. We are half an hour, 32 minutes, which is good. It's decent. Putting subtitles, it's a lot of work, and now I am taking some time from my job as well in order to do this interview. But yeah, I'm going to translate it, put my voice on top, or making a little video after every of your answers, and to say to everyone, don't worry, it's going to be exactly what you said. And that will be all. If you can just stay a little 1 minute more after we cut, so we can take a picture for the video together, and that's it. So thank you, John. Is there anything that you would like to say to the collectors in the Spanish community?
I think the main thing that we want to say is that this is a global community, and as a company, we're a Chinese company, so Spanish isn't widely spoken here, and I'm English, so I wish I could speak Spanish, but
Yeah.
we'll do our best to communicate with you guys, just like every other country. We'll try to work with different YouTubers, streamers, just so that you guys also keep up to date with everything that we're doing. And as a company, we want to be a part of the community as much as possible. So we're not just here because we're launching a new collectible. We're going to be here for a while, and hopefully we can continue to do more videos like this.
Very nice, very nice. So thank you everyone for watching. Muchísimas gracias a todos. Dejen su like, suscríbanse al canal y nos estamos viendo en un nuevo video. Que tengan buenos días, tardes o noches. Chao, chao.